Tim, a senior Biden re-election campaign advisor is accusing editorial boards and editorial writers of election interference for criticizing Joe Biden on Monday. Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms lambasted the editorial board of the Atlanta Constitution-Journal after they wrote about Biden's poor debate performance.
Editorial boards are supposed to honor fair elections. And I don't think it's fair when an editorial board with 10 people sitting in a room are trying to influence an election, especially in a state like Georgia.
Bottoms said she was disappointed with the Journal for its undue influence or attempt to influence the election. The editorial board noted Biden's campaign was based in his incumbency, and Democrat leaders claimed Biden stood the best chance to beat former President Trump in November, which was no longer the case. Right now, we're pleased to talk with President of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tom, after listening to Keisha Bottoms' criticism of the Atlanta paper and the board there, I have to ask you this. When did an honest article about Joe Biden become election interference?
Well, there's a certain logic to it, isn't there? When everything that is critical of Joe Biden is deemed election interference, it now extends to obvious First Amendment protected speech.
You know, Tom, the Supreme Court ruled that presidents do have immunity. How do you believe that will impact Special Counsel Jack Smith's case against Donald Trump?
It should end, or at least upend, the cases against Trump, not only by the special counsel, but by the other Democrat prosecutors in Fulton County and up in New York City. Because the court essentially ruled that you can't even launch an investigation or criminal proceeding against the former president until these immunity issues are resolved. And contrary to what the left said, the court suggested that even where there is the presumption of immunity, there is an opportunity for the government to prove that it was really private and not official action. And now that needs to be applied to all these cases. And I don't see how the allegations against Trump would survive that type of scrutiny, meaning that his work as president to uphold the rule of law in elections, obviously is part of his official duties and responsibilities as president, and he should be immune for that.
And Tom, New York Magazine released some real fireworks yesterday in an article entitled "The Conspiracy of Silence to Protect Joe Biden" by D.C. correspondent Olivia Nuzzi. I want to share two quotes and get your response. The first one is, "The worry is not that Biden will say something overly candid or say something he didn't mean to say, but that he will communicate through his appearance that he is not really there." And here's the second one. "The president repeated the words his wife had fed him. It hasn't been good for a long time, but it's gotten so much worse. A witness to the exchange told me." Tom, what is your reaction to these honest takes on President Biden?
Well, they're a day late and a dollar short. There was, I think, a Democrat senator quoted anonymously in the paper the other day who said he's noticed this disastrous decline by the president in the last 2.5 years. I mean, he all of a sudden didn't lose his marbles on the debate night. And now the media is working with the Democrats because they see politically there's a benefit to getting him off the stage as quickly as possible. Now, from a neutral perspective, and I am being neutral here, the question is, if he can't be a candidate because of his cognitive challenges, how can he be president? And, I've heard from a source that the word is that he's going to resign on Monday from the presidency. So we'll see what happens. And I think that's what we're facing here. And I see that's why you see Clyburn beginning to prepare for Vice President Harris to not only take the campaign over, but the presidency.
Now, you posted that on X this week about that announcement coming Monday that you're expecting. Any sense from your source that is Joe Biden going to be making this decision on his own, or is he going to be pushed? Any ideas there?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it going to be on Monday? Is what is going around Washington actually correct, and what the word is? We'll see. Certainly, there's been nothing in the last several days, and frankly, it seems to be increasing to suggest that there'll be anything other than, in the least, his removal as candidate for president.
Mm-hmm. Tom, Judicial Watch recently filed a lawsuit against the United States Military Academy at West Point. Can you tell us more about that?
A duty, honor, and country is the it's part of it's the motto of West Point, and accordingly, it was made part of its mission statement, I guess back in 1998. It's been there for a while, and they recently removed it from its mission statement, and many West Pointers graduates saw that as more woke. More wokeism up at the at our military academy there, and so we asked documents about that decision to remove those key words from the mission statement. Of course, we got the runaround, and that's why we're in federal court over it. But it's disturbing. We've seen in West Point and our other military academies where we train our rising leadership in the military, this woke virus take hold, and it's anti-American. And in my view, it's designed to alienate our rising military leadership from the country they're pledging to protect.
Mm-hmm. And Tom, real quickly, if Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee for the Democrats in 2024, who do you see sliding in and taking that role?
Oh, it could be Kamala. I mean, there'll be a lot of people wanting to take the slot. I think, practically speaking, Kamala has the easiest path forward, but who knows? She's got to answer some tough questions about what she knew and when about Joe Biden's cognitive decline.
Very good point. Find out more about the work Tom and his team are doing by visiting judicialwatch.org. You can follow Tom and his take on the issues of Washington at Tom Fitton. Tom, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Fjord.